From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time once again for The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max, of course, at my bar where everybody's welcome. And now my friends are here because we're going to talk some ball. My favorite thing to talk about here at the bar is, of course, football and our hometown team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lots going on, so let's welcome in the panel. Aaron Beasley is here. Major Harding's here, and Coach Dave Campo is here. Let's say hello to the fellas. What's up, Bees?
What's up, man?
Good to see you, my man.
Thanks for having me
How
back.
you doing, Major? Always a pleasure.
Tommy.
Coach? All right, Bees, let's start with you. How you feeling so far? 9 free agents. Looks like they covered some needs, got some starters, got some backups. How do you feel about the free agency haul so far?
Most important part of every team is the O-line.
Yep.
You know, and we lost 2 guys, major contributors, and I feel like the Tampa center, 26 years old.
Yep.
You know, you got to put that into account too. I mean, we need guys that are going to be here for a while, not play 1 year and retire. I like Jordan Lewis. I think that's a good pick. You know, we needed some stability in the secondary. I got a funny story about Jordan Lewis.
Yeah.
So Walter Camp, All-American. I would go up there and challenge everybody. You know, my first when I was All-American, me and O.J. McDuffie were in tuxedos doing one-on-ones.
Were you really?
With our shoes off. So I go challenge Jordan Lewis. I said, man, you can't do that with me. Man, he jammed me so bad, I retired from doing that. He jammed me into a piano. I'm going to see him.
Nice.
I'm gonna give him
Very nice.
But he's a good guy, though, man. I think that's a good leadership.
You like him, too, didn't you? You said that off the air. That you
Yeah,
liked,
the biggest thing with him, you know, Mike Zimmer, of course, I brought into the league, and Mike was head coach at Minnesota, and he was a D coordinator with Jordan last year in Dallas. You know, he came on primetime yesterday, Mike, and he said that, listen, this guy is a dog. And that's we've been talking about that as a team.
Absolutely.
For a lot of times at the
attitude,
bar.
right.
You know, and he's a leader, and he's one of those guys that thinks he's a lot better than he is, which is great.
That's great.
And that means now he's good.
No, right.
But he thinks
got
he's
swag.
the best.
You have to
Period.
have that. You have to
And
have
that
You have to
attitude is
have
what
that.
we need.
At any position. But as a corner, deep, you got to have swag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to
exactly.
believe you can shut anybody down, or you'll never do it.
Zimmer said he tried to take him out of the run fits, and he said, no, I want to be involved in the run fit. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the offensive line as well. I think, you know, we lost Scherf that was at the end.
Yep.
We lost Morse that never really excited me that much at center. I think they've raised the floor a little bit.
Yeah.
With the guys that they brought in, Hainsey kid and the kid from Baltimore.
He's a good player, man.
Yeah,
I watched him last year. He gets after it.
Right.
He's got good
So I
defense.
think what they did, and Major, you can step in, but I think what they did was they made it, which I love. You go into the draft, you don't have to take
Exactly.
a position. You
Best
take
player.
and best player need sticks in there somewhere.
Of course, sure.
There are areas
Well, I
that
think
they can get better
they're
at.
plugging and playing. So I
Yeah.
mean, these guys,
But-
they're filling the spot with the guys, and then, like you said, Coach, they're going to go to the draft and be able to capitalize on some talent. I mean,
Right,
it's
exactly.
Listen, I'm trusting the fact that they know what kind of player they
Correct.
want. Not the scheme, not the talent, but what kind of guy do they want in there. I got to assume those are all dogs in there, right?
Yeah.
They're all that same kind of mentality.
Yep.
They love football. They
Right.
care about their performance. They're gonna do
Leadership.
whatever it takes
Yeah.
to be as good as they can be. I know a lot of fans out there are like, well, who are these guys? I don't know who they are. They must. That doesn't mean they can't play football under the regime of Liam Cohen and company, because that's who they're targeting. Now, maybe they couldn't get everybody they wanted. I would have liked, no disrespect to who they brought in, I really liked the Jeremy Chin from Washington, the safety. Gosh, such a missile. Reed, the safety from Kansas City. He's going to New Orleans, I think. So I could see a couple, maybe guys that would have made it even elevate a little bit, but they're taking care of needs. I mean, think of the starters they picked up. You got at least one tight end starter. By the way, Hunter Long from BC, he can play. He's a beast. I mean, he's a big kid. He can block, he can run, he can catch. They used him a lot at Boston College. He's going to be interesting. But you notice a difference of the tight ends. They went from Ingram to was speedy and elusive and, try blocking to these big monster type guys that are going to block and go out and help you catch some passes. So
Yeah, I think they
overall
added
it's been pretty good.
The toughness factor has been added. You
Thank
know?
you.
And that's what we were
Grit.
missing. You know,
Gritty.
And you know that's the game. I mean, you can do all this finesse
Yeah,
stuff all
it's
you want.
blocking and tackling.
Punch him in the
It's-
face,
it's
right?
about hitting. Yeah.
Blocking and tackling. That's
Exactly.
it.
Fundamental
That's
game, but you know you
Yeah.
see the flash.
Which is going to be interesting now, because if we're looking for that tough and grit, does our left tackle fit in that description? Does Walker Little fit? I still think they're going to look at tackle in the draft.
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
a
I
good
think they're gonna address that
possibility. I
position.
agree. And now the one thing is, the Udoga kid that they brought in from
Yeah, from
USC.
Dal- yeah.
He's from Dallas.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They like him as a
Yeah.
swing guy,
Okay.
right? Well, I was with him at USC.
You were.
And he's got a nasty
Does
mentality.
he? Good.
Now, he may not
We
be
need that.
as, he was our right tackle.
Okay.
At SC.
So
when
maybe
I was
he can't
there.
play left, but he'd have the right tenacity.
But
anyway.
he's got the kind of. I like him a little bit to Cersei, because
Okay.
he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that
Chef
doesn't
Silvers.
care who he's playing against.
Right.
Now, he's not the greatest in the world, but he probably is a pretty good swing tackle. So it's just what you said, a toughness and a
That's
kind
what
of
we
a
need.
nasty
I'll tell you,
mentality.
listen, the past 2 years I've been harping. You guys been hearing me. It wasn't always the talent. It was the attitude that was driving me nuts. Like, how do you keep making these mistakes? How do you keep doing the same things over and over unless you just don't care?
The attention to detail part.
Yeah, the
you know?
attention to
Yeah.
detail stuff. So, all right, so draft forthcoming. I'll start with you, Major. They may do some more moves with free agency.
Right.
Any position. I know we're going to go best player, but what position would you like them to address at number 5 if they stay?
Well, what Aaron said to start the program was offensive line. You got to build that,
Yeah.
and you got to have. I mean, even if a guy can't come in and start right away, you got to have to know that you can fill him in that position, and he can get the job done. But I think there's some great linemen.
Early there are, for
Early,
sure.
yeah.
That kid from Missouri.
He's
Did you see him?
run a
Yeah.
4.9.
Membo?
Yeah.
Membo?
He shot up the board quick.
Did you see him in his agility stuff,
Yeah.
though?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how many
At
times
the
did he bench?
combine?
225. How many did he?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Those the D tackles from Michigan weren't very strong. They did 24 and 22.
Right.
And
Which is
Graham was only
okay.
292. We don't need a
terrible.
light guy in there. If we're
Yeah,
going to draft
Graham,
a
I'm
D
not,
tackle.
I'm not high on his. Now, granted, his pro day hasn't happened yet, so let's see. If they move back, that Kenneth Grant's interesting. Their other defensive tackle. I think we need more of a one technique. But listen, let's be honest here. If we have Josh Hines-Allen, we have Armstead, who's going to play 3 technique and play it the right way.
Correct.
And then you got Mason Smith, who is coming along.
Gotta
And
come
then
on.
you got Trayvon Walker. That's a pretty good front 4.
Right.
Now, I like to add to it, but I tell you, if I got to choose between the lines, I'm going offensive line.
Yeah.
Come on, Lawrence he's our guy.
Right.
And you better protect him. We all know it happens to the best of them. Look what happened to Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You get hit, you get rattled, you can't go anywhere.
ghosts.
The dish, yeah, you see ghosts, you feel it. It happens to every quarterback. So protect him and give him a chance to be the best he can be.
Yeah, I could
That's my
I
opinion.
could see them taking a tackle. You've heard me say this before. Paul Boudreau.
Yeah,
who,
the line coach, yeah.
who I-
Yeah,
who
love
I
him.
respect as a really good offensive line coach. He says, "Give me 5 tackles, and I'll get them where they need to be, and I'll teach a guy to snap if I have to."
Yeah.
So I think they would probably take an offensive lineman. I would hope that they would, because you got to win up front. There's no question.
And the best guy will probably be there because you got the other 4 teams. They don't need their quarterback needs.
Maybe New England at 4 if they go.
Yeah,
Although I thought they grabbed a tackle in free agency, but I think they're at number 4.
Okay.
And they got it. What do they got to do for Drake May? Same thing. He's their guy.
Right.
Whether we like it or not, I don't know. But you got to protect him. So for me, protect. I think you've done a good job on the inside, like Ainsley. Look. Liam knows him from Tampa.
Yeah.
He's
Exactly.
comfortable.
Exactly.
It's all that comfort, right? Like you go
Knows the
Nick
system.
Mullins.
Right.
Nick Mullins from Minnesota.
Yep.
He's with Udinski.
He's done
his comfort.
He's
They know the
done.
system.
He's
They know
done
the system.
everything with the entire organization based on trust
Yep.
of the people he's worked with
Yeah.
and
yeah.
been around.
Yeah.
In other words, a combination. That goes with the coaching staff. It goes with the general manager.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes with the players that they're taking,
Yeah.
which I think is smart.
It's trust and relationships.
Yeah, yeah, a combination.
A
Because some of them, like for example, he's gone with the trees
Yep.
that were with McVay. That's
Right.
his
Yeah,
guy. He
that's
trusts
right.
McVay. Well, he trusts O'Connor. He trusts Halfley. All the coaches that out there that are recommending guys. You know? And so, I think I'm excited about it. Do we know 100% everything's going to go great?
We'll see.
No, we don't.
I always say,
We thought after preseason last year it was looking pretty good.
There were some good things. So, it's still out there.
I tell you what, I go back in time. I can remember, like, being at mini camp or training camp in '97, being like, "We got a good team."
Yeah.
Like, and then '98, we added more talent, Freddie and Donovan, and like, we got a really good team.
Yeah.
And then '99, like, we had Cardell, and they were like,
Let's
got
go.
a really damn
Let's
good
go.
team. Holy cow! I mean, you feel it as a player, and you're like, man, this is going to be something really special. I hope they can get to that point. It might not happen in year one, but man, if they could get to that point where they're as teammates looking around going. And realistically, not head in the clouds, we're all great kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
right,
legit,
exactly.
nose to the ground. These guys can ball. You got a team then, man.
Right.
And hopefully they can.
I think when you say those years, it makes me think like how Coach Coughlin was so hard on us.
Yeah.
But it kind of brought us all together as a unit, though.
Yeah.
Like we have our gripes. We sit in that locker room, but it made us so much stronger, so much closer, and that's what you need in the team to win. Because I always tell my guys right now, I always talk about Emmitt Smith's Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah.
When you guys were winning the Super Bowls, mental toughness, trust,
Right.
and what's my other one? Mental toughness, trust, and just a collective focus.
Right.
That's what the team is. That's what the game is all about. Trusting the guy that's going to do his job.
The military is a perfect example of what you do in football, in my opinion.
A lot of parallels.
They treat you so hard that you lean on the guy next to you and the guy on the other side of you.
Yeah.
That's what you have to build on.
Training practice.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
you
and
form a
Tom
bond
felt-
because it's against these guys that are ripping you every day.
Coach, were you of the philosophy of you practice like you play?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
that old
there's no
school.
question about it, and that's what's hurt the league, in my opinion, over the years,
Yeah.
because they don't have the practice time
Right. Or you
to
can't
teach the
hit most of the
fundamentals.
time. You
That's
can't
what I
be
mean.
physical,
You can't. It's harder, but don't tell me that you can't find a way to teach fundamentals, and that's to me the key to the whole thing, along with the attitude and all that.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key for these guys. It's going to be an exciting off season, man. I'm excited about it. I think, and back to Tom real quick, and again, with their haul of the 9 guys, Tom knew he could yell at us because we could handle it.
Yeah.
And I swear, I think one of his early philosophies was get them so mad at me that they would come together.
right.
Now listen, we remember when Andre Rising got cut.
Yep.
And we were like,
We were mad.
mad. I mean, real mad. Guys, but then
We went on a
looked
run.
across the locker room, we're like, there's Jimmy Smith.
Yeah.
And nobody knew about Jimmy except us. And we were like, okay, well, Jimmy's here.
Yeah.
But we were still mad that he got cut.
Yep.
Because he was, I remember when
He
he
was a
walked
locker room
in.
leader, man.
Oh, my gosh.
The confidence he instilled in all of us.
Oh, swag.
I had fractured my shoulder blade, and I would hang with him every night.
Yep.
And then once I came back and I was practicing, and this is Andre Rising going to get a prime time. I'm like, he comes back to me, he says, Beasley, you don't know how cold you are. He said, you don't know how good you are. He said, I can't even get off the line. I'm like, Andre Rising saying this to me? And it just, he
We
filled
knew
me.
we knew when we lost him, and we couldn't keep Jimmy.
Yeah.
He was coming off an injury.
Right.
And he was with Irvin and Harper and all these guys.
Yeah.
We couldn't keep him, but
when he was with
everybody
Dallas,
knew.
right, yeah.
Everybody knew that he was a player.
Yeah.
There was no doubt about it. Now, you don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Fame guy, which he is. He should be.
Should be. Yeah.
Jay Smooth in '95 lined up right next to me on the punt block team for half the year.
Yeah.
He did. He was over the set.
He didn't even play offense.
No,
his
he
first year
didn't. He
down.
played special teams.
Yeah. How
it's
about
great.
that?
Absolutely. He should get in the Hall, no question. Freddie and Jay Smooth deserve to be
absolutely.
in that Hall of Fame. All right, guys, thanks so much, man.
Yep.
So far, so good.
Hey.
And we'll look forward to seeing what they do. Hopefully they go after a couple more guys, and then the draft will be here before we know it. And next thing you know, they'll be on the field. and we'll be there
Before you
taking
know
it
it.
all in.
Yep.
No doubt. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We do it each and every week here at the bar, at Tommy Max, talking about Jags, talking about ball. We always love to do it when Killer's here, when Major Harding's here, with Coach Campo, who is always here. We love talking ball. All right, till next time. Stay safe, be cool, and we'll see you right here on the Horse's Mouth. Cheers. Cheers.
Foodies Care is a nonprofit organization here started in Jacksonville, Florida. Our mission is to support other nonprofits realize and carry out their missions. We're trying to simplify that process to have a local body that's here on the ground that says, listen, we're going to work with you, we're going to partner with you, we're going to give you the resources that you need to be able to do the work that is needed in this community.